Don't worry, buddy. It's been that kind of emotional show today. I think we can all connect and certainly empathize, and hopefully all are feeling inspired. I'm certainly feeling inspired this morning. I'm going to say welcome to a very special Culinary Hotline. Bling! You'll learn, Prue, you'll learn. Today is one of those super special days in our kitchen because today we are honoured, and I mean honoured, to have a world-renowned chef, restaurateur, caretaker, TV presenter, yes, and cookbook author, novelist even, and she is here in our very own Expresso kitchen. It is again my privilege to welcome the South African-born, I'm going to keep saying that as well, culinary legend who has become one of the world's most recognisable and certainly respected food icons. Prue Leith, welcome back to our kitchen. Officially, can we have another Expresso welcome for Prue? Because we are feeling overjoyed. I keep asking myself, what would Prue do?
What would Prue do?
What would Prue do? Prue, thank you so much for being just so down to earth and chilled out with us. It's been an absolute pleasure hosting you, and congratulations on the vegetarian kitchen. It looks beautiful, and we are very much inspired by plant-based living at the moment we're eating. What inspired you, because you're not a vegetarian?
No, I'm not. But I've always loved vegetarian food. I mean, I love the flavour of vegetables, and I think we don't serve them well by just boiling them and putting them with meat. We need to sometimes concentrate on them and give them the spices and the herbs and the baking and the roasting and all the rest of it, which gives them fantastic flavour. So anyway, I love veg. So, and I think actually to have a vegetarian book by a carnivore is not a bad idea.
It's the kind of endorsement we need right now. Would it be possible to pick a favourite recipe? Is there one that you keep going back to cook for yourself?
There's a curry in here which is made with paneer, you know, which is sort of cream cheese.
Okay.
And instead of meat, and it is just so delicious and fresh and lovely. But I like this. This is a fruit bread. I know everybody likes toasted fruit bread, don't they?
Completely.
So shall we do one?
You can get started, and what I'm going to do is, because obviously we had a ton of viewers connecting to us because you were on the show this morning, and I never dreamt that so many people would have bread conundrums, but there are many, many bread conundrums out there. So we're going to touch on some of those comments and questions that you guys put through on our social media platforms. So thank you so much to those of you who did weigh in. This one coming from Nomonde and Glovu, very sweet. She says, I tried to bake a bread. My dad choked from it. I'm sorry, Dad. I'm sorry, Nomonde. Any tips?
Well, I think Dad needs to chew.
Yeah, Dad, come on, man. Any tips on how to bake a soft bread?
Well, you know what? I think the best way to make sure the bread is soft is to make it with milk. I mean, a milk loaf is a much softer
thing.
Milk or a bit of butter, you know, look at focaccia, has a lot of oil in it. If there's a bit of fat in it, it will be softer.
Okay.
And not cook it at too high a temperature, because that gives it a very hard crust.
Okay.
So you need to start it high, in a hot... All bread needs to start in a hot oven.
When you say hot, how hot?
220 or something.
Okay.
Just very hot, and then take it down a bit, because what you want is to have that warmth that gives the crust, you know, that it rises a little bit, and then stop, kill the yeast and stop there. Anyway,
so
listen,
what's
I've got
into
here,
our fruit bread?
to be honest, to make this fruit bread, all you need to do is buy the book, do what you're told, and it'll work. But so what I've got here is 2 kinds of flour, brown flour and strong white flour, bread flour, which is the one that makes it sort of stretchy and bread-like. And then it's got eggs in it and lots of chopped up fruit and a little bit of sugar and instant yeast, and that's it. And you get it all mixed up, and if it looks like this is, that it's a little bit dry,
a little bit grainy.
Shove a bit more either milk or water into it.
I would go with the milk option if you're wanting softer bread.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
And then just a little bit of elbow grease, and it's...
This is usually done with a knife for some reason, but I think a fork works as well.
Okay.
So you get really well mixed up, and then you knead it. And the thing about kneading is... can I dump that all on you?
Give it to me.
That's what presenters are for, you know?
That's a very privileged part we get to play. You laugh. I'm going to steal this recipe and pass it off as my own intellectual property later, so don't worry, I'll get mine. No.
The trick about kneading is that you need to give it some welly. You know, really shove it and bang it around.
Make it a cathartic process. Get
Don't
that
play
emotion
with
out.
it.
Okay.
Don't play with it. And you do that for about 10 minutes.
And why is that?
And that's because you want to stretch. What you're trying to do is there's gluten in there, and you want the gluten strands to stretch so it gets nice and stretchy. This isn't stretchy yet, but if I bashed it around for 10 minutes, it would be. And then, when you've done that, you make it into a loaf shape. I need a bit of flour to stop the sticking. But anyway, make it into a loaf shape and stick it in your roasting tin, your bread tin, and then it'll puff up. And when it's really puffed up after about an hour, bash the air out of it again and let it rise a second time, and then you bake it.
There's a lot of aggression in your baking.
Yes,
I'm picking this out, but I think it's a great way to work out those frustrations at the end of the week. And we've got a couple of other questions to ask you, but we'll do that as we move on to another delicious recipe from this amazing book. And of course, the keyword here is bread. If you SMS bread to 33728, we'll give you a little sneak peek at one of the amazing recipes that you can get in the vegetarian kitchen. But of course, the best part of the show today for you guys watching at home is you have a chance to win a signed copy of this amazing cookbook. All you need to do is SMS the keyword book plus your name and your surname to 33728. It's going to cost you only £1.50. No free SMSs apply, but be quick because the competition ends at the end of the show today. And we are going to be seeing the signing happen live on the show today so that we can prove unequivocally that Prue has signed it. But thank you so much for bringing your love and your aggressive kneading to our studio. We're going to continue with our culinary hotline bling.
Sing, sing, sing!
In just a moment.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Oh, thank you so much, guys. Can't wait for that final performance from the Ndlovu Youth Choir. Struggling to contain their energy, just like all of us actually on the set this morning. What a glorious show it's been. Welcome back to the Culinary Hotline. Bling!
Sing, sing, sing!
You're starting to pick it up now. We're starting to feel it.
Okay, I understand.
We're back in the kitchen with our food legend and our friend, Prue Leith here. Up next is going to be baking what looks like the most delicious grapefruit treacle tarts. I love grapefruit. I love tart. This is a great, I think, option to break my diet this morning. So thank you for that. But before we start cooking up, I've got to get into some of these questions because we've had so many viewer comments and questions, and people are loving the fact that you're on the show. So thank you again from our side. Isabella Neerhouse asking, what is your favorite last-minute dish?
Last-minute dish? Probably something on toast.
Okay, I love that.
I open the fridge, lots of leftovers in there. Nice thick toast, olive oil on a grill, and then put whatever is the leftovers on the toast. Sunday night supper, lovely.
I love that. Do you always bake your own bread? Do you ever buy bread?
No, I buy bread. I buy bread. You can get such good artisan bread now. It's just, you know, I hardly ever break bread.
We are spoilt, I think. So this one coming was actually in Afrikaans, but I'll do a translation. Teresa de Vries saying, wow, I will be starstruck. I feel you. I'm completely starstruck. She's asked what your biggest baking challenge is. She says, mine is a shish tort. And I had to look this up.
Do you know what? You don't want to make a shish tort. I mean, she should just give it up. I mean, you know what a shish tort is? We did it on Bake Off once, and it's the most maddening thing. What you do is you make a batter and you pour a little bit into the cake tin and you put it under the grill until it sets like an omelette, and then you put some more batter on and that thing, and you have to make 20 layers of it. And you know what? It still just tastes like cake.
It still tastes like a normal cake. So I don't know why you're doing that, but good luck with that. We can understand the frustration. Is there something that you used to struggle with, something that used to be like the bane of your baking existence?
Well, I mean, I used to make wedding cakes for a living, and so I learned to do all that fancy icing. But really, I haven't got the patience. And the thought of having to do lots of trellis work and exquisite little white lines on... You know, my idea of decorating a wedding cake is to get lots of fresh roses and just put them on the top of the cake.
Or decorating a tart with some beautiful slices of grapefruit. So we're going to be making a tart now. And it looks and smells delicious. Nicole, our foodie, has obviously tried her hand, and I think she's done a fantastic job. So well done, Nick.
She has.
Well done. But take us through it. Let's launch right in.
First of all, I have to tell you that the reason we're doing treacle tart is because my favourite food. It's very bad for you. But I got married 3 years ago, which is not bad for a septuagenarian, is it? And I had for our wedding breakfast, I had 2 lots of oysters and then treacle tart and custard. Oh, delicious. Anyway,
A woman
listen.
after my own heart. You
What
don't
you do-
understand.
What you do,
that's
you
brilliant.
make some fairly rich pastry and roll it really, really thin because it's not going to get blind baked. You're not going to bake it before.
Okay. When you
And-
say rich,
Well,
does that mean?
it's got eggs and quite a lot of butter in it.
okay.
So this is going to be the middle. You see, you can see why it's bad for you. It's just a massive. You know, it's called Treacle Tart, and it's not got any treacle in it. This is golden syrup. Very, very bad for you.
What would, for the uninitiated, what would treacle be exactly?
Well, treacle is very dark black syrup. You know, when you press sugar,
Okay.
the sort of last pressing is the strongest and the darkest, and it's very bitter.
Could you
Anyway, so
introduce
this-
another kind of things we're pushing the boat out? Could you use a honey or another kind of, or would
Well,
golden
no,
syrup
I
be the
think
one?
You
Don't
need
play
golden
around.
syrup.
Don't
I'm
play
afraid
around.
you need a golden syrup. And this is grapefruit juice that's been boiled down with a bit of sugar to make a syrup.
So,
More
so syrup
syrup.
on syrup on syrup. Where's the flour?
There's no flour. We're using breadcrumbs.
What?
This is just breadcrumbs. And it's dead easy. You just mix up lots of breadcrumbs into a kind of...
And is this something that you can do kind of randomly with abandon, replace flour and breadcrumbs, or is that something that works
it's just
specifically in a
it
tart
makes
format?
a sort of sticky filling. Yeah, no, it's really good for this. You can make tartlets of it. And then this is a bit of cream. Why not? I mean, if you're having all that sugar, we better have cream
If we've got three
as
kinds
well.
of syrup, we might as well have some
Cream as well. So, you just put... The tricks with treacle tart is, first of all, get a roasting tray or a baking tray really, really hot in the oven.
Okay.
So that when you put that on, it gets a woof of
A
heat from
massive
underneath.
heat kick right from the
Okay.
beginning.
So you mix up all the ingredients, pour it in, like that,
Oh, yum.
and then put it onto your blazing hot tray in the oven. Okay, but while it's cooking, which we're not going to do because we've got one already.
We've got one there. How long will it be in the oven for?
I don't know. It's about, I think, 45 minutes.
Okay.
I want to just show you how to get the grapefruit out beautifully
The
like
segments
that,
like that.
because most people struggle with this. So
Us mere
first of all-
mortals.
Us mere mortals. You peel the.
And is there anything fresher than a fresh
Oh, I
grapefruit?
know.
That's beautiful.
And I think the grapefruit's nice on top of treacle tart because it is so sweet, and you
cuts
need a
through
little
that a
bit
bit,
of
yeah.
just a little bit. Hang on, no, I won't go all the way around because it's going to take
So
too long.
The key word here, if you would like us to send you a little recap and that ingredients list is a dish. You SMS that to 33728 and you're on your way.
Okay, so when you've done it, we'll
Okay.
pretend I've done the whole thing. You can see the lines there of the pith. You want to put the knife down one side of the pith and then over there.
So you're left with only the
And then you
beautiful
just
fleshy.
take out
Oh,
that,
wow.
you see. And then you do the next one. Same thing. So you end up, and when you're making fruit salad and stuff, you just do this until you've got,
And you've got
them
your
all out,
beautiful.
them all out.
Oh, lovely.
and then you'll have a sort of juicy, squidgy thing. You just give it a squeeze into the fruit salad so you don't waste the
You
juice.
don't waste a thing.
And then what you do here is you dry these on a bit of paper,
Okay.
put a little bit of sugar on the top, and blowtorch them. Unfortunately, our blowtorch didn't work.
I see these managed to get a little bit of blowtorching earlier.
Yeah, we tried, but the blowtorch was not very good. So
Well, from the kneading of your bread to the blowtorching of your fruit, I'm loving the fact that your aggressive zeal when approaching your baking. It's certainly the right kind of energy to have in the kitchen. But I love the balance here. I think having that, obviously the thick sweetness is going to be beautiful, but to have that grapefruit cutting through is delicious. So we're going to have a little tasting party at the end of this.
We should.
I'll taste your bread and I'm going to taste your tart.
And you know what? This bread, I mean, it's quite a plain bread. It's got very little sugar in it, and it's got very little fat in it. So it does need to be buttered and toasted and lots of cream and jam on
Get
top.
your jam on it. It deserves the jam, just like you deserve the jam. Prue, it's been an absolute privilege having you take me through 2 of these recipes. I cannot wait to sink my teeth, literally, into the vegetarian
Vegetarian kitchen.
kitchen. It looks gorgeous from cover to cover. And speaking of which, one very lucky person is going to be winning themselves a signed copy. Ladies, I believe you're going to do the honors.
Absolutely.
Yes, now we ran an exciting competition this morning for the chance to win the iconic Prue Leith's latest cookbook, The Vegetarian Kitchen.
Now, one lucky viewer SMS to win, and we've got her on the line right now. Ellen Costa, are you there? Ellen Costa, hello, Mama.
Hi.
Hi, how are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Oh,
It
my-
is my 70th birthday tomorrow, and this couldn't have come at a better time.
Oh, so
I'm
this is-
absolutely stoked.
Wow.
Just yesterday, my daughter and I were discussing that we need to get a little less meat in our lives. So really, that I had to be watching this morning was stunning. Prue, welcome back to South Africa. And thank you
Ellen.
so much
How
for
do
your
you spell
inspiration.
Ellen? Ellen, E-double-L-E-N?
Yes.
E-N, yes.
There we go. Signed live on your Feel Good Breakfast show. Prue Leith, everybody, with her The Vegetarian Kitchen Cookbook, just for you, Ellen Costa. Can we give you a round of applause, Ellen Costa, everybody?
Congratulations.
Best cookbook. That is amazing.
That's lovely.
70 tomorrow. Happy birthday for tomorrow, love. Anyway, listen,
and you
I
have a
made
lovely day, and thank you.
Thank you so much. I made some muffins this morning, so while everyone takes a break, I'm going to let you taste it, then you can tell everyone how it tastes, okay? So we're going to take a quick break, but we will see you in a moment.
And you think I'm going to dare say anything except